Amberly here, the Bombshell Baker. I'm going to teach y'all how to make the best blueberry muffins with that really big crumbly streusel top. I'm super excited to share this recipe. My daughter actually taught this to me. Okay, so I'm going to read off Haley's recipe card over here, and you're going to start out with 1 egg. Just crack that in there. It calls for a 1/2 cup of milk, and this is one of the changes I made to the recipe. I use buttermilk. I use a 1/2 cup of buttermilk, a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. This is another addition that I made to her recipe. I add vanilla. I love to bake with vanilla too. So just pour a little bit in, maybe like 1.5 teaspoons. And we're just going to whisk this. I like to really get it frothy. Whisk all this together. I think it makes it really nice and fluffy, the texture of the muffins. Okay, so we have that incorporated really well, whisked up, bubbly. Now we're going to start on our dry ingredients. So we're going to use some all-purpose flour. I love the Gold Medal brand, always have. Do 1.5 cups. Okay, so next is going to be the sugar, and we are going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. Oh my goodness. What the heck? It's like stuck. Okay, so we have 1/2 cup of sugar, and that's going to go right in there. Okay, next we're going to add some baking powder. 2 teaspoons. And it wouldn't hurt you if you had a little bit extra in there. I always like my baked goods to be super thick and fluffy. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. There we go. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon. So it calls for 1/4 teaspoon. And that's what I use. I don't add any extra. You know, I'll add extra vanilla, extra stuff like that, but in this recipe, I don't add any extra of the cinnamon. Okay, so now we're going to just sift this together. We don't want any lumps. This is Haley's cute little sifter from when she was little. Okay, so now it's time to incorporate the wet ingredients into the dry. I'm going to give this one last little whisk. So you don't want to over mix this. You want to just be real gentle. It's okay to have some lumps in there. It actually works in your favor. And that right there is perfect. I'm going to leave it like that, and we're going to add the blueberries. Okay, the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of blueberries. This is where I think more is better. We're going to do at least 2 cups. And a few more for good measure. Can't have too much fruit. So we're going to just fold these in. Alright, we're done with the batter. I'm going to set these aside. We're going to grease that muffin tin. You know Big Mama's house always has some Crisco in it. So you can totally use pan baking spray, but I don't know. Some things your mama teaches you just stick. And I am gonna recommend this because we're gonna overfill these. These are not those muffins that you just fill halfway up and let them rise to the top. Now we want these bad boys to spill over because that's the best part. Get those nice big muffin tops. I like to grease along the outside of the top so that way the topping doesn't stick. Everybody knows that muffin tops are the best part of the muffin. Okay, also, this recipe says it makes 12 muffins. That is so not true. If it ever tells you that, you at least need to cut that down by 1/4. Like, I greased 9 right here, but I'm thinking I'm going to be like 6 or 7 muffins because you want to overfill it. That's the important part. That way it's so thick that the inside is really moist. We're going to fill these in now. Well, I was wrong. We did fill up all 9. Okay, so we're going to just set these aside. And we're going to let that batter rest a little bit while we make the topping. Okay, so we're going to make the topping now. And this is also where I alter it. I like to make more because I like to really put a lot of the topping in there. The recipe calls for a 1/3 cup of sugar. I'm going to do a 1/2 cup. And a 1/4 cup of flour. We'll just make it a heaping 1/4 cup. Okay, so one last ingredient is butter. And y'all know it's room temperature butter. So it calls for like 2 tablespoons. But, you know, I put in the extra flour and all that. Extra sugar. We'll add a little bit more. A little bit more, maybe like 4 tablespoons, I don't know. So we're gonna just mash this up with our fork until it looks like coarse crumbs. So you want it to look like that. That's what I mean by coarse crumbs, just crumbly. Okay, so we're gonna just spoon these crumbs over. And y'all know me, I like to load it up. I have literally made this and put so much on each one I didn't have enough and went back and made more topping. Alright, well bless that one's hard. It doesn't have enough, but I'm not going to mix up any more for one little. We'll steal a couple of crumbs from the others. But not too many because I'd rather have 5 good ones than 6 okay ones. Okay, we're going to pop these into the oven, and don't forget your oven's preheated to 400 degrees. They'll go in for about 20 minutes. Okay, smells like they're done. It looks golden brown. I'm going to pull them out, but I'll show you a way. If you're not familiar with baking, I want you to know how you can check and see if they're done. We're going to just stick a knife right down in the center and pull it out clean, and that means they're finished. Ooh, those look good. So I'm going to just slide a knife around the edges of these. These are a little bit tough to get out of the pan because of all the yummy topping, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Okay, and I'm just going to take a spoon and pull these right out. Oh, that one's got my name on it. That one too. Okay, let's cut one open and see how it is. I love to watch that butter melt on there. I feel like I'm going to burn my mouth. This is heaven on a plate. Okay, let's recap the ingredients for the blueberry muffins with the streusel topping. Here's a list of our wet ingredients. 1 egg, a 1/2 cup buttermilk, a 1/4 cup vegetable oil, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now for our dry ingredients. 1 1/2 cups all-purpose flour, a 1/2 cup sugar, 2 teaspoons baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon salt, a 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, and 2 cups blueberries. Now for the best part, the streusel crumbly topping. A 1/2 cup sugar, a 1/4 cup flour, 4 tablespoons of butter. I hope y'all enjoyed this blueberry streusel muffin top recipe. Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next week. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I'm still enjoying this. If y'all like this blueberry muffin recipe and this video, please give me a thumbs up and like it. Be sure to subscribe and share with your friends.